right. Today's date is June 25th, 2018. My name is Lauro Herrera, and I have a really nice person on the phone, Aaron Thacker. Aaron, you're a new virtual agent here with our program, and you've been training now, going on your 2-week mark, probably a little bit more, right around there. But, I'm excited of working with you. One, because you are what we call a recommendation, a word of mouth recommendation. And with that said, can you share with us just a little bit of how you came to this program and a little bit of your sales background, and so the market could get just a little bit more information about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I guess to start out with my background, I primarily come from a background of working in restaurants and a lot of customer service oriented jobs, but I have a brief stint that I did as kind of an assistant field agent of sorts for Lincoln Heritage was the company that we were working with at the time. It was with my fiance, Robert, who is my reference, I guess. He was the one who brought me on board here with GPM. He's been working for several months now and just always raved about it, how much he enjoyed not just doing the work, but his leadership, the team that he got to work with, and he's just never enjoyed being with any team as much as he's loved it with you guys. So he was really excited to get me on board so that we could both progress and grow and learn from those who we've over time learned really are the best.
That's great. And we're excited too, to have you guys as a couple, and a team. I always say that I rarely hire couples because one of them tends to be a little bit more competitive than the other, and then they're having some problems. But in your case, I made an exception to do this, and I'm really excited about it. You've really taken to, the program that, we're training you upon. But let me ask you this. What have you learned? I know Robert's really enjoyed this program, but what have you learned, being that you've never sold final expense over the phone, and now, being that we've softly started to release you last week? What has been the number one thing that you've learned in this, course of 2 or 3 weeks now?
Well, I think that's kind of a two-pronged question, because I know personally, just working with you guys and going through the training, starting to kind of slowly be on live calls, I've gotten a lot more confident in how smooth the process really goes. I guess when I first started, I've always had kind of in my mind that people don't like to do transactions or really any sort of interaction over the phone. So it kind of over time built a really big personal confidence for me in knowing my capabilities, but also being confident in the program that I'm working with. But also just getting me a lot more a lot more familiar with how life insurance works in general, which kind of policies and processes work best for which people. So it's kind of built my overall ability to be secure in the field.
And also too,
industry, I guess, would be a better way to say
that. And also too, how about the flexibility? Most people in America, couples in America,
invaluable.
Right? Most couples in America with small families, are forced to work. Both husband and wives are forced to go into the workforce, are forced to pay for daycare and nanny services. They're forced to. All of those, make or break sometimes people's plans, right? So what have you really noticed in terms of the flexibility that both you and Rob, can do this and have a career with it, all from the comfort of your own home office? How does that feel? Because I know you guys have had a lot of rain in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, it's been wonderful. There are a lot of times where we've both worked at two separate places, and I mean, we've been across town from each other with one vehicle, so it gets really tough to navigate each other's schedules when it's like, okay, I have 30 minutes between me having to be one place, you having to be to another, and it's like 45 minutes to get from one place to another. So it's really nice not have to coordinate schedules, but it's really just fantastic knowing that one of us is pretty much at all times available to be able to take care of the child that we've already got, a baby that we've got on the way. So
Wow,
it's really nice to be able to, thank you. It's really nice to be able to coordinate our schedules so easily and seamlessly so that we know our family is taken care of and our kids are taken care of.
And you know, there's so much freedom in that. You know, I always say it's not all about money. You know, it's not always about money, the nice thing, but it's about that right there, the freedom, being able to be at your home office while you're working. Maybe your man's taking care of a baby while he's plugging away. You're taking care of baby. You're saving on high, crazy daycare. And I have nanny services. God, they're expensive, you know, but
I can
that's
imagine
what you got to do, right, in today's world. So I've always enjoyed that part of being a telephone guy, the flexibility. You know, I can be in Mexico and I can plug away. I can be on my cell phone, I can plug away. And there's just a lot of freedom with that. You know, I like joking around with you guys that, you know, 90% of my time I'm in Birkenstocks and shorts these days in my life. Really, what do I need a tie for these days if I'm a telephone agent? And I have a network of agents working across the globe now. We're in a modern world, right? So here's one more question for you. How do you feel the fact that your leadership team leads from the front? Not just talks about it, but the fact that we show up every day like we say so, and we lead from the front. We're not just talking about it. We're engaging with clients. We're processing applications, and we do that. What has that done to you as, you know, an agent and someone new to our space?
It's been something that is, I mean, extremely refreshing. Just knowing from Robert's background in the insurance, you have kind of your direct upline who, I mean, if they're available, depending on if you have someone who really cares about you and not just building a team regardless of how it turns out, it's really nice to have someone who you know that you can call if you really need help. I mean, like just the other day or late last week, I had a client who I was really struggling with, and so I was able to call Orlando, and he's helping me out with her, and that's something that was almost unheard of with the companies that Rob worked with. And I mean, he's worked with several. It's never been, no matter what they have going on, they'll find a way to get the time available for them to help out their team.
Amen. And that goes because we don't hire hundreds of people. We're not putting together fancy marketing schemes to attract the masses. You know, I mean, I've seen some guys that have stages in their offices. Guys, they have a stage. They roll out a red carpet and they rock out on their drums and guitar, and they do that to attract the masses, to sell them on that dream. Not here. We're trying to see if you can duplicate what we do every day. And we show you what? The good, the bad, and the ugly. Because anybody can work a laydown, and he can work a fresh lead, but how about that hard personality? There's a lot of people with difficult personalities. Do they get excluded from getting insurance? No. They just have to deal with the right person that knows how to deal with them, right? And that's what we show here. So leading from the front, I'm happy you feel that way, because that's really what motivates me, you know, in my career. You know, I was trained by great people, you know, that in most minds, you know, most people would think, oh, those guys shouldn't be writing business anymore. But, you know, I was trained by some amazing men that were filthy rich, and they could still go out in the hood and knock on doors in the hood and not be affected by a dirty house, by getting cussed out at the door, by any of the typical resistance that we see in the marketplace. Well, Aaron, one last question for you. What kind of person would you recommend this opportunity to, knowing what you know about us?
Knowing what I know, I would really recommend it to anybody who has the tenacity to overcome obstacles. I mean, any career path comes with its own obstacles, and I think one of the biggest that comes with a career path like this is having the will and the drive to really push yourself to do it. You know, there are so many benefits to the freedom of working inside your own home, but at that point you have to really kind of get over that barrier of you want to relax and you want to take the freedom to do too many personal things and not push through that desire to just lay back and work whenever you feel like it, because I mean, realistically, if we didn't have to work, most people probably wouldn't. So you kind of just have to have that determination to really work at it. And some days are a struggle, some days aren't, and just working through that and knowing that as long as you have the drive to do the work, that this can be a very rewarding task.
Absolutely. Well, with that said, would you be kind enough to provide your contact information in case anybody just wanted to reach out to you and chat with you a little bit? Anything you want, your email or your land, whatever you want, it's fine.
Yeah, I can do email. I try not to give out my personal cell number. I am not active on Facebook anymore, so really email is the best way. T as in Tom, HACKER1395@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Aaron, for that, and I'm really looking forward to, you know, seeing your name on the leaderboard at GPM, and I'm really, really excited to see that. So, thank you once again.